Hello and welcome to Meet Our Makers, an artist interview podcast produced in association with Beats Per Minute. I'm your host, Jeremy J. Facette. On this episode, we get to meet Anjimile. Anjimile is a singer-songwriter hailing from Boston who just put out his debut album this year called Giver Taker on Father-Daughter Records. In this chat, Anjimile and I discuss the bizarre feeling of going from a long-standing DIY musician who barely anyone heard to being signed by a lovely label full of nice people and getting reviews left and right. Not to mention, the album was quite warmly received. We also talk about some of the inspiration behind the album, as well as what Anjimile's been up to during quarantine, including how he has found it sort of a bastion for creativity. I was especially excited to talk to Anjimile because as a DIY musician myself, I was really eager to pick his brain about some of his motivations, some of his feelings around the business and the art, and just kind of talk to him about the journey he's been on over basically the better part of this past decade. So thank you for listening, and please enjoy. This is me meeting Anjimile.
Just hanging out.
Yeah, how are you? It's we should say for the record, this is the day after Election Day.
Yeah.
How are you faring with all that?
Yeah, I'm faring all right. I I have been trying to not be on social media at all. And I've been checking the news intermittently, but not really any updates from yesterday, so
No, it's pretty slow.
so
I mean,
it's
I've probably been looking more than I should be looking.
yeah.
It's, probably not the healthiest thing to do right now. So how have you been though? How have you been over quarantine? Because you just put out your debut album, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, you put out your debut album
Yeah.
this year, and this is a very strange year. So how have you been in general since this pandemic started?
Yeah, it's been a wild ride. I mean, all things considered, I've been all right. I feel like it could be worse.
Hmm.
So in that respect, it's going great. Um, yeah, I've always released DIY stuff in Boston. So I don't really know how. I mean, I've heard how a release cycle is supposed to go. The tour usually, right?
Yeah.
But that's not a thing. So it's been interesting to kind of see, I guess, folks from my team adjusting to that reality,
Mm.
father daughter, and kind of just it was kind of an onward and upward thing with the release of the record.
Yeah, I mean, so many people put off their records this year, and then several people did release records, but they weren't mostly their debut records. So, I mean, what is that? What has that been like to sort of be releasing your first on label, large scale project, and it's in the midst of a pandemic?
I think that maybe a silver lining is that I was already pretty stressed out about the release, oh shit, what's Pitchfork gonna say, what's Stereo Gun, what are these people gonna say. So there was already that kind of worry, which is I think a bit egoistic, and so that is kind of the backdrop of that is a literal pandemic, which I think helped me retain a degree of perspective and groundedness throughout this entire thing. It's not used to people listening to music that I make, so I was
I
kind
know,
of
no, I know.
oh. I
Yeah,
was
it's
wow,
weird.
okay.
I can imagine that as sort of strange when, I mean, how many years were you putting out your music on your own?
Oh yeah, it's been since 2012,
Oh, wow, okay.
but not in a serious way. Like I think I put out my first record when I was like or it was an EP when I was like a sophomore in college, and I was
Hmm.
like, "Fuck it," it wasn't like a serious thing. But yeah, it's kind of been a minute.
Yeah, so I can imagine that jump being sort of good mostly, but sort of weird too, that you've been putting out music kind of at your own pace, on your own time, in your own way for so long. And then, like you said, suddenly these people are hearing it that you never would have thought or expected to hear it. I mean, I don't even, that adjustment must be sort of strange.
It's totally strange. It is like it's certainly like validating,
Hmm.
because the EP that I released in 2012 was like not that good, So I've been like, working to improve my artistry in all aspects, and so it's like, so now I can be like, okay, there's definitely been like improvement here.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I always hear like about debut albums that people have their whole lives to write them, but then their sophomore album is like 2 years to write it. But I feel like that's kind of a similar idea. Like you spend so many years writing stuff that you end up not really liking much, and you kind of have that time to hone your craft a bit. So maybe,
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe it's like a good thing almost that it happens now because I would imagine you feel a bit more confident in your style now
Yeah, definitely.
than you did
And
in 2012, I mean.
yeah, for sure. And I was like still figuring things out. And I still am, but back then I was like 19.
Hmm.
So I was just kind of, not as focused. I mean, I was like trying to go to college. I was like, yeah, I was kind of doing my like college fuckboy thing. I wasn't really super focused on like, musicianship, for better or for worse.
So you
So
didn't study music at all?
um, I was in choir
Hmm.
all throughout high school. So there was like music theory and vocal technique training, and then I like played guitar all throughout like middle school and high school. But I wasn't like I went to college as an English major,
Oh, okay.
and I switched my major after 2 years to
Oh,
music.
okay.
So I was like, oh, maybe I should do music. It wasn't really until I got to college that music, like performing music, started becoming a thing for me in the first
Right.
place.
I find it sort of fascinating when these kinds of things happen. I was just talking the other day with someone, I'm forgetting who now, but about sort of that phenomenon that happens when it seems like a few times a year, every year, there's like some people from the DIY scene, usually singer-songwriters, who suddenly kind of come out with something that gets buzz. And often it's a debut album. And I always kind of am just curious about
Nice.
like, the journey that comes with that, because as you say, you've been playing music for now 8 years roughly. And that had not happened, whether you were chasing it or not, I don't know. But then kind of out of nowhere, so to speak, you have this debut album that, like you say,
Yeah.
Pitchfork heard and Stereogum heard, and all these people who, whether for better or worse, are kind of the gatekeepers these days.
Yeah.
So it's like, validating, like you said, is probably a very good word for it. I've been making music for about the same amount of time as you, on a very, very DIY scale, and I'm always just like, and I know there's thousands others, so I'm always just like wondering about that process.
Yeah, it was like a very for this debut, it was a combination of like serendipity and planning.
Hmm.
Like in terms with getting linked with father daughter, like the record happened because I applied for a grant last year, that a couple of my buddies had gotten, and like it's a 15K grant, and so I like worked with my bandmate Justine and her good friend Gabe to like make a budget and like a plan, and then like we got the grant, and it was like, oh shit, great. And from there it was just kind of like a bit of connections. Like my good is Sir Baby Girl, and they've been on father daughter for a couple of years, and like they recorded their debut at my old apartment.
Oh,
So
wow.
they would always kind of be like hanging out, and I would be like, hey, what's up? And they'd be like, I'm good, blah blah blah, like I'm working with father daughter. And I would like ask them about it, and they'd be like, yeah, I feel like it would be a good fit for you. So I've been like, you know I'm not sure how aware father daughter is, but I've been like creeping on them for years now.
I think we all do that until they notice.
Yeah, it's I feel like doing research is good. I do a lot of some might say creeping. It might be me. I think I would say creeping, but I think the correct term is just like research.
Well, because what were you doing? Were you trying to like feel them out and see if they would be a good fit before you approached them?
Yeah, I basically wanted to know like everything about them,
Hmm.
and I wanted to know their like affiliations and like yeah, so I just like, yeah, looked up all the artists on the roster, like listened to all their music and then like did some research on like the artists that I liked on the roster. Looked up to like their managers were and their booking agents and their publicists, and then I like read a bunch of interviews that Tyler and Jesse did over the years, and like this was like long before I ever spoke to them. But I feel like it's good to be informed.
Well, yeah, and also, I mean, again, coming from myself as a DIY musician, you
Yeah.
you see those, if any label, small or large, is saying anything about demos or submissions, a lot of them say, please be familiar with what we do, because we get a lot of shit, and if it doesn't sound like something we would want, why are you sending it to us, basically?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And I think that's like something I would have done in like 2012. It's just be like, oh, a record label. Let me send them this, regardless of
Yeah.
like like whether or not it's contextually appropriate.
I know. I remember in college, probably freshman or sophomore year, I sent something very embarrassingly to Cranky, um, who are not really singer-songwriter
Yeah.
label, but that was like you said, that was like before I had any sort of ability to discern what was like appropriate. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll just send this to them because I really like the stuff on their label, and it did not fit at all. So needless to say,
Yeah.
I didn't even get a response. So I think doing your research is a good thing,
Yeah. I mean, I feel like
creeping or not.
that's what like not getting a response is for, cuz people are learning how to conduct themselves. So I feel like they're probably super
Yeah.
used to just like random shit and being like, "Oh, this person just doesn't really know what they're
Yeah.
doing right now, but maybe
And
they
I,
will
I
later."
also wonder like how many people just get sort of looked over, sort of not even maliciously, because they get so many emails.
Yeah, I
So
wonder that too, cuz like I like don't get like a ton of emails, but like after a certain point, I'm not going to respond to that email,
yeah, right.
especially if it feels random or like yeah, especially if it feels random. Or
Yeah,
if it's from somebody who I've never heard of, who doesn't like have like a referral.
right.
And I think that that's kind of how I view like father daughter,
Hmm.
is like my like industry referral in a way. In addition to just being like bomb ass people.
Yeah, no, I've been aware of them for a little while too. They seem like a good place to be,
Yeah, they're just like fucking like cool.
which is probably pretty rare.
Yeah, they're like cool, they're honest, they're like transparent, communicative. They're not full of shit, which
Hmm.
is super nice because I've like, over the past like couple of months since this record came out, people have been coming out of the woodwork, which is nice. But some people have been saying some like weird stuff to me, and I'm like, there's no way you could actually do like, why would you just promise this bullshit?
Yeah,
It's
really.
weird. But Father Daughter is nothing like that. Like they were like, hey, we like your record, like we're gonna try to promote it. Like that was pretty much it.
Well, I mean, that's extremely nice. I mean, that's like, it is a really good record, and I'm sure that they also think it's a very good record. But that is also kind of like the stroke of luck that so many musicians are looking for. That like nice, quick turnaround. Someone being like, you know what? I like that.
Yeah, it was pretty bonkers. Like I saw on Twitter that Tyler, the A&R rep, had this was last summer, like, and we had started recording the record, and Tyler had put on Twitter that he was doing artist consultations,
Hmm.
and like he has music, and they had put one of my older tunes on that playlist in 28 or yeah, I think it was early in 2019. Um, they had like put a playlist with one of my tunes on it, and I was like, oh snap. And I like knew it was Tyler from Father Daughter because of my creeping, so I was like, nice, 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 nice. And when I saw that he was doing artist consultations on a sliding scale, I was like, hey. So like we pulled up in there with like, you know, three like mixed tracks and like a marketing plan for how we wanted to release the record, and we just wanted to see like if it was a good plan, if we had any suggestions, and like which of the songs, which of those three tunes should be the single. And like, we were like, yeah, these are just work in progress, like unmixed tunes, which they were like absolutely not fully mixed and
Hmm.
like done up. But he was like, yeah, here's my advice, and also I really like this music. I think it's awesome. And I was like, yes.
Yeah, that's like that'd be such a moment for me.
It was pretty. I was like, yes. And he gave us like contacts to other labels who we reached out to, and like folks were really nice, especially like because we were just random people
Hmm.
emailing them. People were like really nice to us, but like the vibe with father daughter was just like right immediately, and I was like, these are the people.
Yeah, it's nice when they're nice because I have had some places respond whether negatively or positively, and it's nice that even when it's like a no, it's like a really nice no. Because
Yeah,
some people are so cold about it or really robotic about it, and it's just nice when someone, treats you like a human being.
right. I'm like, oh, I just thought you were gonna like ignore that, which is totally chill.
Yeah.
But then you were like super nice to me. That's so nice.
Yeah, it's so sad, but it's always a nice shock when people are nice.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Especially
So
via email.
I know. I feel weird about email sometimes, but it's like
Yeah.
what you have to do. And I do when I do my mass emails of like, because I self PR, of course, I
Yeah.
definitely personalize. I go through and I definitely address to the person I'm emailing because I know that I've seen a lot of even really small labels like tweet out like, if you don't address me, I'm not reading it.
Yeah, that's real.
I kind of get it.
Yeah.
I
I,
understand.
that's fair. That's fair.
So did you have then, so you had Give or Taker, was it pretty much done when you came to Father Daughter?
um, it was like we were like halfway through the recording process.
Okay.
And we
So
had
they
planned.
so they signed on before you were done.
Yeah, they were like, because we wanted to release it in at the like before the end of 2019 originally.
Hmm.
Because in January of 2019, I had gotten on NPR's like Artists to Watch
Hmm.
in the new year, and we were trying to capitalize on that. And we were like, yeah, we want to release this like kind of as soon as possible. And like father daughter was like, hey, like you don't actually have to do that. You can chill out. And they were like, so this is how like like marketing works. We take a couple of months, and that's after your record is finished, which it's not.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they were like, yeah, just we'll make a timeline and we'll fit in a couple of months for PR and we'll be good. And like you don't have to rush these things. And we were like, okay, cool.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, it was super nice. And we were kind of like, so yeah, we had some like undue pressure put on ourselves that was then like immediately alleviated, and we were able
Right.
to like refocus back on production and recording.
I mean, I don't know about you, but for myself, one thing I really like about being such a DIY musician is that, and I actually do this quite frequently, is if I'm planning a release, I can like change something like the day before. Like, like, oh, you know what?
Yeah,
I did, I think I got it to be better. I'm gonna change it out. I don't care that it's coming out tomorrow.
damn. Yeah, honestly, like I feel like I maybe was bitching about this. I was bitching to somebody. I'm always bitching, but like I like hate I hate doing things DIY. Like the this like just because of the possibility of that, or just
Hmm.
because I can do something like that, and I like if I can, I will. And
Hmm.
like there's just a greater ability because I have more control. I thusly unfortunately use it to drive myself fucking insane.
Yeah, I get that.
So like with father daughter, like it was just so nice that they were like, this is the plan, and I was like, great, I'm gonna go
Right.
outside. Right, like they
It's
were
like
like, we
reading
upload this
blueprints.
shit. It was like I was like, holy shit, I don't even need to be on the internet when this record comes out. Like I can like
I know.
pre-write my like record release insta post and then like post it and then like go climb a fucking mountain or something.
Yeah, really. And like Bandcamp also like doesn't let you. schedule your pre-orders,
Yeah.
and
Right.
I always kind of, I love Bandcamp, but that is like the one stitch in my side about them, is that like I don't want to get up at like 5 in the morning
That's a
and go
really
there
good
and
point.
post it, like, just, can I just pre-do it and then have it come out, and when I wake up it's out, like, whatever.
Yeah, that might be their Achilles heel. I didn't even
But
think of that. That's totally true.
well, I'm just always making stuff, so I'm pretty acquainted with their good stuff, but also their limitations.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, for someone like you actually appreciated that you kind of needed to turn in a finished product and then take your hands off.
Yeah, and like I think that that was good for my producers as well. Like, unfortunately, like, I mean, there are things that all of us would change now,
Mm,
but I think it is so much for the better that we can't. Like, in Maker, I forget. I think it was like mentioned in a bigger publication, something about like the squeaky guitar strings, and my producer Gabe was like, "No, I've been losing sleep about the squeaky guitar strings," and I was
yeah,
like, man, we'll fix it next round. like
yeah,
like
whatever.
it's DIY
Right.
kind of.
Well, I mean, it kind of still is. I mean, it definitely has that spirit, I think, to it. It sounds like it was well recorded and well produced, but it does have that sort of like DIY, people in a room kind of feel to it. So I think that's fine.
Yeah, it was just DIY with a budget.
Right.
Usually,
Right.
it's like DIY and me like collecting pennies from a well to like.
Yeah. Yeah, as opposed to me and my like $0 budget in my office at home.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I think that spirit still lives on. So if there's a little bit of
Nice.
shagginess, then who cares?
Right.
So speaking of the record, Give or Taker came out a couple months ago. I'm forgetting the date now.
Let's
Um,
see. Yeah.
it feels like it's been a couple months.
Yeah, September 18th. September 18th.
September, okay. And it got a pretty good response critically. Have you been surprised at all by critical or fan responses?
Um, yeah. Like maybe well one time okay, so I read this I read this hilarious, I won't say the publication, but like I read this like hilarious, it was like 5 songs to listen to. And it had like a blurb about Maker, and it was like, imagine you're just coming home on a snowy evening. You put your bags down in your living, and this was like a review of the song, and it was just like a paragraph that was like a fucking like prose, and I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is this? So that was definitely surprising.
Yeah, that sounds like a creative writing exercise or something.
Oh man, it was hilarious. I have it saved on my phone, and I was like, man, what what? But yeah, I've just been surprised that like the response is positive, and it's, I mean, it's like obviously I like the record, I
Hmm.
made it. But some of the some of the things that these critics have said, like, and I think it's just a function of the potential floweriness of the English language. I'm just like, damn, y'all thought it was that good? I mean, I think it's good, but you know, that good? So that's been nice.
Yeah, I mean and also, I mean, I don't think, when people say stuff like, "Oh, I didn't think anyone would like it," like, I don't think it's out of a sort of like pessimistic or self-conscious viewpoint. I think it's sort of a humbling thing. It's like, of course you wouldn't assume everyone's gonna love it, because if you were assuming that the whole time, I think the product would have suffered,
Yeah, that's kind of
you
a
know?
weird just yeah, I'm not like Yeezy here. I don't just like believe that I shit gold. But I was like, I
Yeah.
think these songs are pretty good. Like I think this is my best work. So hopefully people think it's good.
Yeah. I'm also personally someone who like has so much trouble taking a compliment. So if I if I
Yeah,
if I was getting like
honestly,
praised by for anything, I'm like, oh, okay.
yeah, I was kind of like really like some of these, I don't think at any point like anyone who I ever interviewed with was being disingenuous. I was
Hmm.
just being really like kind of like skeptical. Like I think one of the first interviews, someone was like, "Yeah, like I listened to this record and cried, and like it was one of the like stopped me in my tracks, and I like it affected my soul so deeply. I was like, for real? But then I was like, obviously, for real. Like, this person is super earnest. I need to, like, accept a fucking compliment.
I know it's that like innate sort of you're instantly cynical about any compliment you're given.
Yeah, honestly, like, literally everything is like bullshit. It's like, no, 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 no,
Yeah.
not bullshit.
Did you read reviews? Were you a review looker?
Yeah, I did. I read them all.
I think I
Um,
would do that too. I mean, especially with your first kind of big thing, I feel like how could I not read them?
yeah, I read every single one. Um, I don't know if I'll do that in the future.
Yeah.
I think I probably shouldn't, but
I don't know if did Beats Per Minute review your album?
I don't know. I think maybe they did.
I know I did not.
I think maybe somebody did.
I'm just gonna Google it. Oh yeah, they did.
Sick.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
they.
yeah.
Oh yeah, he liked it. Okay, you're good with us. We're good. This
Yeah,
is not, it's not going to be like Beats Per Minute interviewed and hated the album. No, it's none of that.
yeah, the thing is, like, all the reviews were positive,
Hmm.
and I was still really anxious.
Hmm.
And I think if anything, that made me realize that, like, I should maybe just be taking a step back from that, or like,
Yeah.
it was kind of like informing in the future. Like, I was like, oh my god, what if people don't like this? And the reviewers are mean, and then like reviewers are really kind, and I was like, oh no, like I was still like freaked out. So like
Well,
maybe
it
it's less about the review and more about
yeah, and it does kind of go both ways. Like if the critics trash it, but you love it, then like who cares? But at the same time, if critics love it, you can't be like, well, I am so good, clearly, so I'm set. You can't
right.
you
That's
can't
the
really
thing.
can't lean into it too much.
It doesn't really, make a ton of sense because if I already made it because I liked it, so it's
Right.
like someone else liking it isn't like gonna make me like it more. But it was still
Yeah.
nice. Obviously, I'm like, okay, sweet. Like this is honestly a dream come true.
Yeah.
So like, hell yeah. So there was definitely like a big like rah rah component.
Well, it's also just a good feeling when you work really hard on something and then there's a positive result. I mean, that's always nice.
It was like yeah, and once again like father daughter like they really came through like at the beginning of the like release cycle they were like so what publications are you interested in like would you like to be covered by and I was like I want that indie special give me that pitchfork like some stereo gun paste like
Mm.
let's do it and then that like happened and that's also like because my publicist is like fucking lit as hell
Well, that's
she's
good.
like she's like this like older like white woman and she's like her name is Judy.
Oh yeah, I emailed her to get in touch with you.
Yeah, Judy's like stays lit as fuck. I like am a huge I don't know if you might want to check out her Twitter. It's quite hilarious.
I might have to. Shouts out to Judy.
Yeah, but Judy just did her fucking thing and then all this shit happened and I was like, "Damn, Judy."
Isn't it nice when people are like good at their jobs?
Yeah, I was like, "What do you mean publicist?" I didn't have any experience of that. And then
Yeah.
like Judy's like, "Hey, Rolling Stone wants to interview you." And I think my response was like capital letters what with like 60 exclamation points.
I mean, what a shift though from the way you used to release and do stuff on your own to this, you
Exactly.
know?
Yeah, like when I realized that we were gonna have vinyl, which was like, in the contract, but I
Hmm.
like have a problem where I won't believe it until I see it.
Totally, yeah.
And then like, we got test pressings in the mail and I was like, holy shit. I never thought like the label was like, hey, we're getting vinyl, like what color do you want? And I was like, I want black. And they were like, you can't have black. What other color do you want? They were like, colors sell better. And I was like, okay, cool. Like that was a moment where I was like,
Yeah, that's like a dream question for me is like, what color vinyl do you want your album to be on?
yeah,
You
like
know, it's like, what? I'm sorry, what? I can do that?
damn, yeah. Ugh, yeah,
Because I,
absolutely.
I had, I was lucky enough to meet some good like tape label people this year.
Sick.
So I had a couple albums this year put out on tape, which was the first time I've had any physical media of any kind. And there's just something really cool about it. Just like holding it, it's just like makes it more real, I guess.
That sounds incredibly exciting.
It was
Do you have a
exciting.
tape player?
I don't, but I know people who do.
Yo, I'm like same. A couple of years back, like one of my buddies in Boston was like, "Hey, I can do like a really small run of tapes," and I was like, "Fuck yeah!"
Yeah, that's
Like,
basically how I was.
but I like don't, I didn't, and still do not have a tape player.
Yeah, I'm looking at them now. I have a few cassettes on my shelf. I haven't played them like in my house because I can't.
I like the way cassettes look. I kind of view them kind of like T-shirts, where I'm just like, it's
Oh
like,
yeah.
it's like they're like little paintings or whatever.
Yeah, it's really neat. It's just like this nice little rectangle with that album art that's usually just a JPEG on Bandcamp. And it's
Yeah.
like a nice color tape. It's like I think one's like a deep blue. I'm like, ooh, this is
Nice.
nice.
Yeah, yeah. Tapes are cool. I don't think you need to necessarily play them for them to be
Yeah,
cool still.
I know. Maybe I'll just like mount them on my wall or something.
That's not a bad idea.
The ones that didn't sell, mind you. Um, so with Give or Taker, how far back do some of these songs go, would
Um,
you say?
let's see. I think the oldest song was written in 2013,
Oh wow.
maybe 2014.
So is the album then sort of a good encapsulation of basically this decade for you?
Um,
In some ways, anyway.
oh shit, I guess so. Damn.
Well, it sounds like a very, very personal album.
Yeah, what's super funny is like I didn't really realize that until like recently.
What, like
Or
how
like
how honestly personal it was?
yeah, or how yeah, just like how personal. Because I was like, my girlfriend was like playing it. She was like, "Can I play this?" And I was like, yeah, "Okay." She's like, my biggest fan,
Right, right.
and I was listening to it, and I kind of hadn't listened to it in a while. I was like, "Yo, this is kind of pretty sad." She was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I was like,
It's so
"Oh
funny.
shit." But yeah, it's definitely that's a very good way to put it. It's a pretty solid synopsis of the last decade of my life. Yeah.
Yeah. What are for people who haven't listened yet, what would you say are some of the like prevailing themes or overall like ideas you were working with on this album?
Um, I think a lot of it has to do with like relationships and kind of the emotional impact of relationships shifting, whether that's breakups or death
Hmm.
or just like any sort of major shift to a relationship that feels, emotional and kind of tough
Hmm.
to deal with. And then I think another theme is like spirituality, kind of like reckoning with, or rather exploring like faith and what it means to like have a sense of spirituality and how that can manifest in one's like daily life slash
Hmm.
belief system.
Do you
And
consider yourself a religious person?
no.
Spiritual person?
Yeah, which
More like
like
that.
I remember when I was like 10 like watching The Bachelor, and like the bachelorettes would be like, "I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual."
Yeah.
And I'd be like, "What the fuck does that mean?" But now as like a hipster, I'm like, "Oh, okay, I get it."
Like, yeah, totally.
Yeah, my parents are super religious. I'm like really not, but
Hmm.
I like I'm a colors of the wind kind of spiritual
Hmm.
like hippie.
Is there tension there?
No, they don't really like ask about it. Well, I think we honestly have like, or at least from what I have gathered, we have pretty similar basic beliefs.
Hmm.
So when they're talking about like religion, I'm talking about spirituality, and like we do agree.
Hmm.
Like, cause it's like be kind and honest and loving,
Right. Well, it's
and
kind of
that's
like,
like
all the religions in the world essentially are like 99% the same, you know?
yeah, yeah. It's like those like basic things, the core things are pretty much the same. And then the specifics, I'm like, I don't know, that doesn't make sense to me about not eating shellfish, but whatever.
Right. Did you I did for a bit. Did you go to like
Go.
Catholic schools when you were young?
I didn't. My parents are Presbyterian,
Oh, okay.
So they used to just take us to church every Sunday, and like, you know, I was kind of a. I didn't really have any feelings or thoughts about that as a kid, besides like this is boring as fuck,
Yeah, same.
and I don't want to wear this dress because it was like a 2 hour service, and I was like
Oh wow.
5. I
Yeah.
was like, I don't even know what the fuck is going on. I could be eating cereal right now. So I just remember being bored as fuck and like like I had learned sign language at some point. Me and my sister were just signing to each other for like during these services at a certain point.
Yeah, I remember I went to church every Sunday until I was probably like 11, and then my dad realized that none of us really wanted to go, so he stopped making us go.
Yeah, yeah, same.
And I like never like now I go so infrequently into a church that I'm like uncomfortable in them now.
Yeah, I'm kind
Like, oh.
of like, yeah, I feel like I've kind of been to a church recently. I'm kind of like it's whatever, you know.
I went for like a baptism a couple years ago, and it was the first time that I had been in a Catholic church in like
Oh
years.
shit.
And first of all, baptism ceremonies are weird as fuck. And it was really strange, like to me personally. And I was just like sitting there in this church for the first time in like a decade, and I was like, oh, this is, yeah, I feel weird. But
Yeah. Yep.
um, so are you someone who always writes? I was gonna ask what your plans are next, but are you someone who's like always making music?
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I have been doing.
Have
Uh
you found quarantine and stuff particularly useful for that?
yeah, it's you know, I was not expecting that at all.
Mm-hmm.
Um but it's been a time of like emotional upheaval and
Mm.
great change, but also great stasis. And you know, like most folks, having an emotional experience, and that is, you know, coming out musically at times. So I've been really grateful for that outlet outlet lately.
Yeah, I know. I feel like some people have either kind of gone either way. Like either they have this time and they've been really creative, or they have this time and it's like stifling, you know?
Yeah, which I like. I totally see how that could be the case. The shit's
Yeah.
like messed up, and I think like yeah, I think the fact that I am able to write is kind of a testament to like my privilege in this moment to like have like a comfy place to live and like, you know, be able to still like make money from shows, albeit remotely. But like, you know, it's been harder than usual, but I'm like all right, and none of my like loved ones are like, you know, have COVID, and I
Right.
feel like because of a very specific set of like factors, I'm able to like kind of settle into like my emotional experience and kind of try to focus on whatever self like care or self-soothing looks like.
Yeah, that's good. I know I've been fortunate enough to be in this with my boyfriend who I've lived with for years, so like I'm not alone, which is nice. And then we have a dog, which is nice. So it's like, and
Oh, that's
so
so sweet.
so it's, I feel for the people who are alone and lonesome because it's such a weird, hard time.
Right? I'm like I'm having a hard time and like I'm pretty much fine.
Right.
So I can't imagine how much less fine, you know, it gets across the board.
I know. And I'm a teacher, so I've actually been working too and like seeing the
God.
children.
Yeah.
I teach high school, so luckily they're not like 5, but
Damn.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
been it's been a ride. As you keep
That's
saying, it's been a
quite a
time.
dream. Oh, has it been a time?
And it will continue to be a time.
Yeah.
Are you trying to plan for touring for whenever that kind of comes back?
Um, well, not really, but you know, now I have a a booking agent
Right?
for some reason who
Yeah.
like my no, she's rad, but like like maybe like a couple of weeks after the record came out, I got approached by an agent. She was like, "Hey, I've been following you for a while, and you know, I'd love to like work with you. And obviously, there's no touring, but I like community, and I believe in like working and planning like strategic ways to like help an artist fulfill their career goals. Um, however that relates to touring." And I was like, cool, sweet. And same with like I have a UK agents who said the same thing, and I was like, yeah, that's cool. You know, got
Set it
nothing to
up.
lose with that. And so I think they're more focused on that,
Right.
which is cool. I mean, it's definitely something in the forefront of my mind,
Hmm.
but I can't take any action besides to like keep rehearsing and keep writing and
Yeah.
keep like trying to do like cool live streams.
Hmm.
But for the most part, I'm like, Susie, you got that. Let me know what's up.
When the world is reopened, I trust that you will get that.
Yeah, we've definitely talked about like places I would want. Like, I'd love to hop on the festival circuit
Hmm.
and also to do like a headlining tour. And also, that's it's just not going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah.
And for that reason alone, I'm like, let's definitely make these plans of like what a dream return would look like, whilst
Right.
also realistically being like, that shit's not happening right now.
Yeah. Just put it in the ether for now, I guess.
Yeah.
Are you someone who like really enjoys being on stage?
Uh, Kinda. Well, I don't know. I really I do enjoy performing, but I'm not like Judy Garland, like
Yeah.
needs to stay like when honestly when like shows stopped, I was like, good, annoying. I'm gonna go carry my gear. Like I was like being such a like big bitch about it because I just am a very like salty person, and I was like, I'm like also a grandpa. Like I go to bed at like 9 or 10.
Well, yeah, me too.
So like, okay, cool. Gramp to gramp. It's like some of these shows, they're like late, and I'm like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah, no, trust me,
I'm
I
like
know.
cranky at the gig, but I'm also like really excited to be at the gig. But I'm also like really tired. I just get like, there's like a lot of things about gigs. There's enough things about gigs that I don't like that when they shut down, I was like, good, cool, bye. But now that it's been like a couple of months, I have like started to miss, especially in the context of doing weird fucking live streams from my
Hmm.
fucking bedroom, singing to
Yeah.
my teddy bears and shit. That shit's weird.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is
So in
that
that,
is that strange?
yeah, so I do miss like I honestly just miss like the human connection and having somebody like the literal immediate validation of somebody being like, that is a good thing you did.
Right.
Good job. Clap, clap, clap. Like I'm like singing to my teddy bears. They're not clapping. I'm like, shit, I hope I did a good job just now.
Yeah, as vain as it can sound, that like immediate reaction is kind of important because when you're, especially if you're performing live, it's such a vulnerable scenario, and
Yeah.
you kind of want to know that things went all right.
Yeah, and if anything, I realized that like I do, I enjoy performing in the sense that I kind of like to show off when I'm on stage, and so I want to make an impression, and I want like to then I'm pushing myself to like do as good of a job as possible. Like every time I'm on stage, I'm like, all right, it's like let's fucking do like we're gonna flex on these hoes right now. Like let's do this. And that attitude, albeit whatever it is not there when I'm like singing to my teddy bears.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's
So
it's
I feel
it's
like my
it's very
performance can
different.
suffer. Yeah.
It is
It's
different,
like who am
I
I
would
gonna
say.
who am I to flex on in these trying times?
Yeah, it's like, is it just this random like Twitch user that I'm flexing on? Like, who am I singing to?
Yeah, that's another thing. It's kind of weird and sad to like sing into the void.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, damn, if I wanted to sing into the void, I could just do that with all of these weird fucking cameras and like without all the annoying setup of having a live stream from my room.
Yeah, you probably do
Which
that anyway.
honestly, it makes it easier than ever to turn down gigs
Mm,
because a lot of them are less appealing than ever before
yeah.
because of the A, lack of like audience participation, validation, and energy, and B, like the legit amount of time it takes to do like a pre-recorded thing, and like set up my interface, my mic, and like I got my little DS. I'll go on to like Adobe Premiere Pro and like edit it, and then I'll also edit my audio in Ableton. You know, it's kind of like a whole fucking thing. I'm like, well, if I'm gonna do all this, I'm not just gonna do it for some random mother effer who I don't really know or
Yeah.
care about that much.
Well, yeah, that's a lot of extra work too that like is not, to put it very, very simply, is not really what you like signed up for or anyone signed up for when they were like trying to, go out and be a musician.
Yeah, and honestly, like I like that I like have learned a little bit about my DSLR. I like that I have the opportunity. I'm like pretty proficient at Adobe Premiere Pro. I feel like that's really useful, and I like mixing and mastering in Ableton in my spare time. But still, it's still a pain in the ass. So I'm not
Yeah.
just gonna like I've had people be like, "Hey, would you like to do this, for free?" And I'm like, "Well, no, I wouldn't. I would not like to."
I wonder if some of that though is because you are relatively like new to the scene,
Yeah.
and like they're trying to take advantage of that.
Well, honestly, like it's mostly from Boston folks.
Oh, really? That
Because folks from
sucks.
Boston are just tripping. No, it's cool. It's like, some
Do they
I don't
think it's
know.
like you're Boston and we're Boston, so let's be free? Like, is that like you'll do it out of loyalty?
I'm not sure, but what I've realized is like the longer the email, like the less I'm like I like will look for any I'll like scan for any like fee or like payment. And if
Right.
it's like the longer the email, the less likely that is to be included in it.
Yeah, and also probably the longer the email, the less likely you are to probably even read the whole thing and respond to it.
Well, like I read them all, but I need to get better about declining shows because I'll sometimes just not respond
Hmm.
because I don't want to be a dick over email.
Yeah,
But
and when
it's
you're a dick over email, it's like extra dick.
right, and I'm like, how do I just be like, no, thank you, without sounding like terse? Because that's
Right.
like terse to say over email.
It is.
It's like, hey, or somebody was like, hey, I'm unavailable, but thanks. Or
Hmm.
like, hey, but then sometimes they're like, oh, are you available on this date? I'm like, I'm actually
Yeah.
I'll never be
Yeah.
available for this.
That's like when I invite people to this show, like of course 99% of the time I'm emailing their managers or their PR people and I'm like, "Hey, would, Joanna Newsom like to talk to me sometime?" And I literally just say sometime and they always say, "No, she's not available." And I'm like, "Okay, all right." Or like she's not doing interviews or whoever it is, it's like, "Okay."
That's hilarious.
That's the most common response is
Yeah,
they're not
she's not doing
available.
an interview with you. It's like, oh, okay.
Not to slight Joanna Newsom because she's my favorite person on this planet, but
Yeah, no, yeah. I
um,
mean, peeps just
but
folks decline.
managers, yeah, managers and PR people, I think what ends up happening is like they don't even they field, for their client which emails to pass through and which to not. And so when they get to me, they're like, "Oh yeah, yeah, they're not available to do this right now." Like, okay, okay.
Oh man, that's super funny.
I forget who. Oh, I was talking to Ryan Walsh of Hallelujah the Hills,
Yeah.
and he was saying the same thing. Like, if people are like not available, it's like, okay, what are you doing then? Because right now, like, no one is really doing much.
That's the thing. That's another reason why I'm just like I need to figure out a response because I'm like what I'm doing is just like not not that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like anything but that.
You could
Which
you
is
could maybe be like, oh, I'm not taking on live shows at the moment, but then I don't know.
here's the
Or you
thing
could
though,
you could
like
lie though and be like, I'm booked up.
I don't lie,
Well, that's good.
which then but then it means that I just like don't know what to say. And I'm just sitting on that email and then they nudge me and then I'm like, "Oh, hey, thanks for the nudge. I'm unavailable." It's like, "What the You just said that like 2 weeks ago." So I
I
got to figure
know.
that out. I'm working on like the perfect like because sometimes it's a thing. It like sometimes it's an opportunity that I like am interested in, but I don't want to do right now, which is easier to decline. But
Yeah.
if I'm like super just not interested at all, I find it harder to like find the words.
Well, I mean, I appreciate and I think we all appreciate that you don't want to be mean.
Oh, I mean, there's no reason for that. That's
No,
not
there's
cool.
not. I
It's
mean, you
just a
don't
matter
have.
of like being like, yeah, it's just a matter of like, how do I communicate this sentiment kindly?
Yeah. Yeah, one of my favorite responses I get from PR people is like, "Thank you for your interest, but she is kindly passing on this." It's like,
Hmm.
okay, yeah, all right. So she's kind, but she's saying no.
Not very nice, Joanna.
Yeah. No, Joanna didn't do that.
Okay.
For in Joanna's defense, who by the way will never even know I exist, in her defense, I invited her like the first week I launched this podcast, and I didn't even have an episode up because I was like so eager.
Aw.
So I don't blame her PR person for being like, yeah, this podcast, quote unquote, that doesn't exist yet. She's she's gonna say no.
Yeah, and
But
she
also
might.
she's private. She's a private person.
Yeah, I feel
She
like a
really
lot of I
a
can
lot of people are
understand.
private. I get it.
Yeah, like my PR folks are always like very kindly gassing me up because I enjoy like doing interviews. And I think that from the vibe I get, they are quite used to most people like declining a lot of what they send over.
Yeah.
But I like, I do read the email and I'm like, that looks cool. Or like, I mean, yeah, it usually looks cool.
Yeah, I mean, I started it this year because of the pandemic, and I was like, you know what? I've been wanting to do this for a while, and facetiously, I thought everyone's home and doing nothing, and they'll all want to be okay with talking for 45 minutes. Luckily, several people have said yes, and it's been very nice. But
Sick.
I did a couple interviews because I also work for the Needle Drop, and I did some
Hmm.
interviews for him, and I had a lot of fun. And I was like, how do I do this without you? Because like I want to do it my own in my own, on my own time in my own way. And also like when people get an email from the Needle Drop that's like, "Hey, I want to do a podcast." They want to talk to him. They don't want to talk to me. So,
Oh.
well, no, I mean, it's just the way it is. Like no one,
Yeah, no, I guess that makes
no
sense.
one reaches out to Anthony Fantano and being like, can I actually talk to your video editor who I've never seen or heard from?"
It's like Macklemore and Ryan Lewis.
Right, right, right.
That makes
Um,
sense. Yeah.
yeah, so I wanted to start my own. So I'm always glad when people say yes, but I'm fine if they say no as long as they're nice about it.
Yeah.
Like you said, there's no need to be mean.
No, the world
It's
is
such a
hard
negative
enough.
place right now.
I couldn't even. It's just been so long since I had like what I would even categorize as like a mean email interaction that I
Well, that's nice.
feel like that would really hurt my. I'm like, really in this year of our Lord,
Yeah, in this day and age,
that would hurt
really.
my feelings.
In this year, 2020. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I have to wrap up before my thing runs out.
Gotcha.
But thank you so much. I'm glad you say yes to interviews. I'm glad you said yes to talk to me today. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, my
The
pleasure.
album's really good. It's called Give or Taker. If people have not heard it, I suggest you go listen to it. As someone in the beats per minute Slack the other day said, because when I told them I was talking to you, they said his album's really good, and I said, yeah, I know. And they said, and you can listen to it twice in 1 hour. I was like, yeah, that's a really good point.
People keep telling me that exactly like that. I'm like, you
It's
know what?
it's a short album, but it gets the job done, and then you can just repeat it.
I know. I'm like, listen, is this a light roast? Because I'll take it.
Hey,
It's
no, I
true.
think the age of the short album is overdue because I am so sick of like 3 hour records.
Honestly, the next time I see a double album, I'm just fucking. I mean, unless it's like Moses Sumney, literally, I just get so
Right.
tired of a double album.
Yeah, I know. That one made sense.
Oh, beautiful. That was otherworldly. But most of the time, I'm like, you really have 17 song track list, yo?
Yeah, or like when they make a double LP, but it's like a 36-minute album, and I'm like, you just wanted to get more money.
Wait, people do that?
People do that. I remember distinctly when I first when I early on when I first started buying vinyl, I picked up Beach House's Devotion, which is like a 40-minute album. It has like 11 songs, and it's a double LP. There is no point. And honestly, it's even more egregious because there's two songs on the album in the middle that bleed together, and that's where they fucking cut
Oh
the
no!
LP.
Don't you do it?
I don't understand it.
You know who? Like, I have Radiohead's "Burn the Witch," and for some moon shaped pool, and like I really like it, but for some reason there's like four LPs with like two songs
Yeah.
each. I'm like, what? I'm
No,
like, I
I
guess if anybody can do this, it's Radiohead,
I
but still.
suppose. But it's to me, it's a money grab. I mean, there's no way that the Devotion LP with a gatefold double LP would have been the same price as a single LP in a nice little envelope. So, you know
Yeah.
what? Get it where you can get it.
Hmm.
But But anyway, thank you so much for talking to me. I really appreciate it, and I really like the record, and I am excited to see what happens next. And I hope you stay positive in this really weird, unsettled time, especially this week.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, it was a nice, super nice, distraction from the dystopia of
The
our
onslaught
world.
around us, I know.
Have a good one. I hope your dog is
Oh, she
cute.
doesn't. She doesn't. She. Oh, she is.
Well,
She
I
is
know.
nothing to worry about there. But I think a lot about how she has no idea what's going on, and how
Oh,
jealous I kind of
Blitz.
am in some ways.
Yeah, I am.
I just,
I
you know,
know
I
some
just,
dog as well for that.
yeah, I just come home from work and she's happy, and that's like, oh my god.
Aw. Yay.
Yeah, maybe I'll email you a picture of her.
Yeah, honestly, that would be great. Thanks.
Yeah, I'll drop that in your inbox.
Sick.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Have a nice rest of your evening.
You too.
Thanks. Bye bye.